Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi everyone, I'm not sure if you could hear me. Oh, yeah, maybe you guys can hear me. I hope so. I might get my earpiece on. Where's my earpiece? Here. Might get my earpiece on. Oh no, look what I did to my floor. Oh, freaking Lord have mercy. Hold on, guys. I wanted to make myself some really good coffee, and I was too busy working out so many details in how to take care of some things that I hope you guys can hear me, because I don't know. Let's see how that works. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Work out the details a little bit better. Just let me figure it out, because I think I'm doing something wrong. Melissa, can you hear me? Just text me if you can. I think I'm doing something wrong. So I'm going to figure it out. Hold on a second, Melissa. Bluetooth, right. I want the Bluetooth connected to, I think I know I'm doing wrong. Hear me. Chat. And now I'm hoping those on Blog Talk Radio can hear me. See? Blog Talk Radio. Why do I keep losing you though? Why does it keep going to stream now? Why does this keep going to stream now? I think I lost. All right, let's try again. I think I know what to do. I'm so confused. It's my iPad. Let's try Blog Talk Radio again and just bring me back to the studio. That's not it. Radio. There we go. Nope, that's not it. Oh, you guys can hear me? I'm appreciative of that. I just can't find myself. So, thank you so much. They said they can hear me. All right, if you guys can hear me, maybe I'll just, no, because I need to get to Melissa. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I don't know why this is happening, though. Oh, Maybe, am I signed in on my phone? Oh, maybe she just signed in on my phone. Okay, so you guys can good health. We can hear you. Okay, so YouTube can hear me, and I can't get back to Melissa though. Oh wait, Ifashay, you can hear me on YouTube, right? I'm asking Block Talk Radio. That's the confusion. Let me just log in again. See what I'm doing wrong here on Block Talk Radio. Tracey Brown. On the radio? Oh my goodness. What the hell am I doing wrong? Hold on. At yahoo.com. I'm on Block Talk Radio. Okay. I cannot find you all. That's the problem I'm having. So let me just try one more time. Okay. I can hear you on the radio. You all can hear me on the radio. Oh my God, I'm so upset. You should be able to hear me on the radio. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just, if I can get back to where I was, then that wouldn't be a problem, but I can't seem to get back there. All right, let's try it again. Into the studio. Okay, I'm in the studio now, guys. I am so sorry. How is everyone doing? And thank you all for listening. This is going to be uh, an extension of what I had already begun, which was um, reading the Book of Revelation. Right? Ooh, how scary! Well, I don't know. I think at some point I did find it scary. But thank God I was also moving at the time, and so it gave me the excuse to put the book down. Right? Put it down, Tracy. Put it down. And so I rested, and I rested, and I rested. Right? We talked about this the other day. Take care of you. Take care of yourself. And the one thing I think I know how to do well is not worry, put the book down, relax, sometimes spend time doing a lot of nothing. And if that looks lazy to Tamika Lori, I'm going to take it easy then. Because I think lazy is a part of mental health. I also think that if there's a part of you that's lazy for too long, then it's mental health, right? And so we don't call people out their face when you don't understand some of the problems that people are going through, right? So I'm just going to bring a special guest on. Oh, Sugar Bum, don't leave me. I'm going to bring a special guest on, and that is Melissa Burton. She is from the Melissa Burton Show on Saturdays. She will be on today on Blog Talk Radio around 12 or 12:30. Melissa loves to talk about crystals and their meanings. And she never not comes up with a topic to talk about. And then in between, talking about a crystal, which I really hope you guys are listening to the crystals part. She also gives readings. But listen to the crystals part of it, right? Because I just think as we move forward and as we're in yet another COVID experiment, I like to call it, I like to call it an experiment because I think God is up there. Oh, try this. If they didn't listen to Alpha, try Omicron, try Delta, right? I think it's an experiment. Not that God is that cruel, right? I don't know. You all haven't read the Bible. God can be that cruel. No different than a parent that gets sick of their children and you punish them, right? Because your children are out of control, right? That's what this COVID experience is like. I think it's interesting though that no one's getting it, right? Except for a few people I know. No one's getting it. No one's understanding what this is, right? I love the ones that are annoyed by it. I'm so annoyed I have to keep wearing a mask. Those are my favorite. And those are the innocent ones. I'm not even talking about the crazy Karens who are belligerent, right? Or the Kevins on the airplane. But don't get it twisted. How many Black folks have we seen arguing on the airplane too? My point to you is, are you getting it? Like, what can I tell you for you to understand something in your life has drastically changed? What can I tell you? How can I get you to understand that everything changed? And so must your attitude and how you look at things and how you look at money, right? How you look at a need to buy that expensive car, which there won't be any parts for in a minute. Trust and believe. They can't even get the parts off the shipping containers, right? How you need that house. Now, I'm not against a big house, right? I'm not against purchasing a house. I promise you. I'm against the prices that make you all believe you need to have that particular house that's $100 overpriced. That's what bothers me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about. How in the middle of the COVID, everybody's out of work, and now following everybody being out of work, we got this great resignation. I actually love the great resignation. That people went and brought homes overpriced. Here's the joke, everyone. You buy the homes, you sell your home, right? And we're not even talking about California. We've always had this problem. This is for Oklahoma, right? You sell your $150,000 home. You get to sell it for $300,000. Nobody even appraises the damn home, but now you are $150,000 basically. Once you pay off whatever needs to be paid off, you're like $100,000, $130,000 ahead of the game, right? Me personally, I would try to find a home for $130,000. I would rather be debt free, but you can't, right? Because all the homes are $300,000. Better to keep your home. But that's just me. I just have a different vision than everybody else. But there are some people out there that are like, "Oh, child, once I started looking at the homes before I put my home up for listing, my home was going to cost me everything that I would have upped my home for." There's a big game out there. My favorite is Zillow. Those bastards. They went and brought out the market, right? Hoping to be ahead of some greedy game, and they shut themselves out. They have to go out of business. Woo! That's greed for you. That's greed. All right. With all that being said, because I can never stop talking, let's bring Melissa on. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, good health, Tracy.
Good health. Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm going to turn my Bluetooth off. Can you hear me, Melissa? Hold on, sweetie. I knew something's going to go wrong, and then I can't get back in. settings, Bluetooth, just, oh wait, no, AirPods are on. Okay. Blog Talk Radio. Can you hear me, Melissa? I lost you somehow. Let me just stop it. Oh, maybe that's it. Melissa? Melissa? I think I could hear you, and then it just goes away. Let me just see something. Bluetooth. Try one more time. Oh, maybe eyes. Okay, so it's acting a little funny. I'm just trying to figure out how to get you off a speaker, Melissa. I'm so sorry. I really should have did it on my phone, I'm thinking. I should have signed it on my phone. Melissa, I guess you can't hear me right now. Melissa, can you hear me? No? Let's try this. Let's try this. Melissa, can you hear me now? Stay right with me, guys. I'm just... Okay, she's going to come back in. Thank you, sweetie, for understanding. It definitely isn't you. It's definitely all me. Melissa, okay, let me see who this person is. 215, can you hear me? No, I think it's me. This is back on. All right, hold on, Melissa. My Bluetooth, it's connected. Disconnected. Why didn't it work? Melissa, can you hear me? Hate this. Oh my God, this is so annoying. Melissa, can you hear me now? Let me see. What is everybody saying? Yes, Dory, I'm 215. I can hear you. You're 215. Oh, you're adorable. Thank you. Thank you. You're 215. Okay. You're 215. You can hear me. That means Melissa can hear me, but I can't hear Melissa. And that bothers me. Okay. Okay. Let me figure it out again. One more time, Melissa. Give me a second. Connected. Melissa, can you hear me? I don't even know why I'm doing it this way. I think I should be doing it this way. Live. Talk. Radio. I'm sorry for the lack of professionalism, guys. So sorry. Disconnect. 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 Studio. Settings. Connect. back to the studio. Let's try it one more time. This is you. Okay, Melissa. Yes. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. How are you doing? Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Don't leave me. Melissa. She just hung up. Yes. How are you? it, Girl, I have not been on the radio in so long that I'm like ignorant. I'm so sorry. I will be so much better next week. I'm so sorry. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. Go make coffee for honey. Yes. I love that you have this relationship. I love that you have this relationship with honey. It is the most amazing. Tell everyone who honey is. Mm-hmm. 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 That's right. Well, you know, she's sitting there with her husband anyway. She's with her husband anyway. So you are the light. What? Mm-mm. That is hilarious. Yeah. What a personality. We do. You know, maybe we should say it different. I want, that's the man I want. That's gonna go off the rails when I'm not happy. Yeah. That's the man I want, right? Because you know me, Melissa. I'm down for family. Somebody bother my family, there's death. I kill. So I want people I want a man that's gonna do that for me. Right. That's it. Yes. And you want a man that's gonna like change their body language when he sees somebody's bothering you. Now listen, I'm not talking about a crazy jealous man. That dude I don't need in my life. I'm talking about a man that's like, wait, what? What happened? I want a man that I can say, calm down, calm down. I handled it. You don't need to get all buck wild. I took care of it. Right? That's the kind of man I want. And I want him to be able to say, if I get out this car, I'll be like, no, baby, if you get out the car, it's going down. So stay in the car. I already handled it. Drive off. Come on, drive off. Hmm. I don't need a crazy jealous guy because that, especially my age bracket, it's not going to work. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, some people like the exes want to go and look up and see how the girlfriend, like the ex-girlfriend's doing.
No, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
stop doing that.
Right.
There's no coming back.
Mm.
You know, I feel like when people do that, they attach themselves to old energy.
Yes.
They don't die. They
Yes.
don't die, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they get the same girl all the time.
Exactly, right? Melissa, preach. Exactly. So.
You gotta just go to that forward.
Right. No, you're so right, Melissa. Are you there?
Listen, I don't. You know what? And you know what, Tracy?
Tell me.
When you say I love that. Like, I want a man that goes and, you know what I don't see men do anymore? Actually go and take the groceries. You know? Instead of watching the girl struggle with groceries, just come and say, I help you, I got you.
Well, you know, Melissa, out
what
here.
Happened to that?
Melissa, out here, one of the things that I did notice is that the mature women, because I think the younger women have cars, but I think the mature women I see struggle with groceries, and I don't understand that. If I'm going grocery shopping, not only are you going to drop me off, right? But you're going to come back and get me. I'm not getting on some raggedy ass bus. So there is something going on even out here that I'm like, what the hell? Where are the men? And you can't convince me you're working, right? Then we're going to go shopping on your day off. That's how that's going to work.
I love that. Go shopping on their day off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But but I do notice that the mature women, you know, they out there, you know, gathering up them groceries, struggling on the bus. It's kind of disturbing. To me, it's disturbing.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, men gotta learn to step up a little bit more. Not only that, but if a guy is not paying for your groceries and he's coming over your house to eat and sleep with you,
no, it's not happening.
You are not his girlfriend.
It's not happening, Melissa. I understand the value of self. And I understand the value of a piece of steak. We talk about this a lot. So no, my steak is not free. Period.
That's right.
Period. On a dime. So Melissa, introduce yourself. Who are you?
Oh, come on.
Who are you?
You know, I'm a Oracle deck reader. I love reading cards, and I'm shrining, which I love that I'm doing that little by little. I'm seeing different things, you know, especially when Tiffany Intuition has, like, for People Gems, has, like, the crystal sales.
Yeah.
And when she's doing the live auction, and I get to see the crystals, and I'll be like, this crystal says this. This is saying that. Mm-hmm. And then people are like, wait a minute. It's saying that it's feeling like, you know, something they should go and get. You know, I feel like a crystal calls you when you see it. You know, and I love that I can, I do little things like that. I could definitely say I do a little bit of mediumship, but I would love for this year that I can, like, really go into it, because I've been seeing a lot of interesting things, especially like with also I do candle magic work, and I was showing my group mates my candle, and that it's a half moon in the candle.
I love that. I must have missed it this morning.
No, that happened like a couple of weeks ago when we seen the half moon, and Lamar was saying that, that was angel communication with me.
Oh,
like the
wow.
angels were trying to communicate with me through the candles.
Wow.
And I have been I've been working with dirt lately and putting it in my candles. I know that's something not everybody does, but you know, for me putting that dirt in the candle, one of my angels that I had for maybe like 8 years or something like that. But it was in my closet, right? You know how you forget stuff, you put it in your closet, forget about it.
Right.
Someone took it out of the closet and put it by my door.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking Tracey about it. Tracey's like, she doesn't want to be in the closet anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
She don't want to be hidden. So I put her on the altar, and I was just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And also, how could I say, I love talking about crystals and stones. I do personal readings, and I love doing, you know, the TikTok a little bit with the, you know, pulling the cards and stuff like that. And I just love just being around a group of people that all like the same things I like. And they have a lot of stuff in their physical world that we get to, you know, everybody connects so well.
Yes.
I love it. So, yeah.
Yes. All right. So I was looking up, let me see something real. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see the right book. Give me 1 second. Okay. There are a number of herbs. Maybe you can contact me, Melissa, to influence your psychic development. There are a number of herbs, right? And ironically, you know, the one that we keep talking about in book club, because every time somebody talks about it, they say to me, the one you hate, Tracey. Every time. It's anise.
Oh, anise.
Yes.
You know I bought that stuff because you talked about it.
Yes.
You talked about it, and I went to a metaphysical store, and I bought the anise. I don't know if I used it yet, but I have it. It is strong, though, the smell.
It's very, very strong, but it does stimulate psychic ability.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, this herb called benzoin, and you can get that from Amazon. Benzoin gives you success in readings. Right?
Wow, I gotta definitely get that.
Yes, yes. Let me see, Athea root? Hold on a second. I just know all these things. I just have them all written down. But now I don't know what the hell I wrote. I think it's called Athea root, Athea root. It's about psychic powers and attracts good spirits. So if that's an influence that you want to go into, Melissa, I would say spend at least 6 months concentrating on just that. Not on money, not on love. Like, you have a single focus. Althea, Althea root.
Wow, I love that. You said that it's like basically like 6 months on basically not only concentrating, but focusing that you're focused on one thing, because sometimes I could steer away and be focused on something else. So that's good,
Yes.
And I wrote it down.
Good. And just contact me for anything else. I have remember I told you I'm in the process of writing an herb book.
Oh, yeah.
So I have all of it. I have anything you need to know, especially concerning your abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you any herbs. And then I can probably tell you which ones you actually should carry around, not always burn in a candle. So you might want to get a sachet.
Like a mojo bag, right?
Yes, a mojo bag. Yes.
Do you when you get mojo bags, do you go by the color of the mojo bag, or it doesn't matter?
No, for me it doesn't matter. I don't have. There were just times I can't get into all those details. Like you must have a green bag for money or whatever. Get a mojo bag. There's one that I could send to you or to anybody else that's listening, right? Who's ever listening, just contact me. I what I share with Melissa, I'm sharing with the world. Like this isn't an intimate thing between me and Melissa. Like whoever wants to start developing their psychic abilities, yeah, let me know. And including anything that I order off of Amazon. So there's these bags from Amazon. They're about 5x7, and they're silk inside and velvet on the outside. And I carried that bag around until it fell apart, Melissa. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, and then it's a nice big bag, so you can stick your hand in it. And sometimes, especially if my nerves are bad, I'll stick my hand in the herbs and I'll recharge them with my internal power. I'll grab some herbs and I'll recharge them and I'll remind them why they're together for me in this bag. This is what we're going to do together. This is what I need from you. Pull my hand out, shake off the herbs, put that mojo bag back in my purse, and we keep it moving.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just to sit there and just, how you always tell us all the time about charging your herbs before you do your candle magic?
Yes.
And your hands get warm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, maybe we could do a video on mojo bags. So
that would be fun.
We could show the world like what the hell we're talking about, right? You could do yours on psychic herbs, and I could do mine on, money or love, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's look into doing an herb for the peeps. Go ahead.
Tracy, as you was talking about the mojo bag, I was just thinking about my grandma on my dad's side. She always put her money in a handkerchief.
Yes.
And she always puts it in her bra.
Yes.
She never walked around with a wallet. And I was just like, why? And never a pocketbook. I'm like, why? Always in her bra. She's like, you need money? Grandma takes it out her bra, opens up her napkin, and give you money.
I think it might have been
like the mojo.
That's a good way of looking at it, Melissa. I've never thought to look at it that way. But my grandmama did the same thing. Come here, go to the store for me. Okay, Grandma, what you want? And literally pulls the money out her breast. And you're like appalled. You're like, what is happening here? What are you doing, right? When you're 8. Like, stop touching your breasts, woman. But you're 8, and you're like, ugh. And it's so natural for her. She's not even realizing that we're looking at her with shocked eyes. Like, I don't know what's happening here. It's so funny when you think back what your grandparents used to do. But you're right. That might have been
It's,
some form of protection, wrapping your money in a handkerchief. Also, Melissa, it might have been some form of slavery protection too. Right?
I never thought about that.
Because everything goes back to slavery, I promise you. But like, take this and stick it in your breast. Do you know what I mean? Right? So if somebody searches you, you know, the breast will cover you. Stick that something underneath your breast, they're not going to feel that.
No.
So it might have been like something that was passed down and, oh, child, I'm glad we kind of got out of that mentality. But here you and I are talking about mojo bags, and I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the mojo bag thing, and you know what I'm going to do? To put in the purse and then put it in the bra, because I put crystals in my bra.
Yeah, I know you do. I never have, right? But I know you do. I remember Kiana said she did. I think a lot of people do it.
You know, but it's just so cool. I'm like, okay, what crystal I'm going to put in my bra today? And then, you know, sometimes you lose it.
And I think
I'm
maybe...
serious. Like, I don't know, one time they just fell out my bra, and next minute I know I'm at work, and I'm like, what's that black thing in the hallway?
Oh.
It was my crystal.
It was your crystal. Oh my God.
It was my crystal, and I was like, wow. I said, wait a minute, how did you get here?
That's too
like,
funny.
Okay, let me just pick it up and go about my business.
That's too funny. I love that. But I think that might have been one of the reasons why I never put anything in my bra, right? Because I come with itty bitty titties. So you come with itty bitty titties, it's like ain't nothing staying up there. All right, Melissa, let's get started on Revelations. I think I know where I left off, but I was not wanting to like research and go back to the last part that I left off. So I think I'm going to start at Revelations number 9, chapter 9. All right.
All right.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me go back to, hold on. Let me go back to Revelations chapter 8. I feel like in Revelations, it doesn't matter where you go. I think every chapter is its own story, right? There are some chapters that bleed. What you say?
I would say just go with your gut.
Okay, I'm going to go.
You know?
Yes, I'm going to go with Revelations chapter 8. And anytime you have something to say, just call out my name, because I don't want you to forget your thoughts, okay? So, it's Revelations chapter...
Revelation 6?
Say that again now.
Which Revelation you're doing?
Revelations chapter 8 in the Bible.
Okay.
Chapter 8. And the chapter is called Seventh Seal, Prelude to the Seven Trumpets, right? Let's begin. When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about a half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Then another angel, having a gold censer, came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints ascended before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and threw it to the earth. And there were noises, there were thunderings, there were lightnings, and an earthquake. So the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. Let me stop here, Melissa, because that's what I like to do. I think one of the things that I found interesting, Melissa, before 2020 came, our group kept saying we heard screams, right, Melissa? Or
Yeah, the screams from the sky.
The screams from the sky, right. And I remember when the group kept saying, did anybody see what happened? Did anybody hear, right? I don't know if everyone had this experience, but I know we did. And then we started researching it on the internet, and we found that other people were hearing the weirdest of screams. And I remember one video, it was with lightning. And the guy kept asking his neighbor, do you hear that? Do you hear that? But he videotaped it. So we all heard it.
And it was a lot of screams.
A lot of screams.
And they were loud.
Loud.
A lot of screams.
And the vision that I got, this was before COVID now, right? The vision that I got, because I had just...
before COVID.
I had just entered into the world of African deities. And I had just begun to understand their power and their might and their anger, right? And it was right after that these screams came down from the sky during lightning. And I remember having a vision that the ancestors were jumping down. And
I remember you said that.
Remember I said that?
To come help.
Yes.
And you said they come down to help.
Yes.
Like they got another chance to come down.
Yeah.
But they didn't like anything that was going on.
Nope. Oh, child, just breathe. Just breathe. It was kind of mesmerizing. And the vision that I got was the vision that I got, right? I didn't understand what was about to come. Right?
I remember you said it felt like a birth.
It felt like...
We kept on talking about the tree of life.
Yeah. And I said it felt like a what?
And it was like a... You were saying that it was like a birth for them to come down here. Like them coming through, like how, like, when a woman's giving birth.
Like a bird.
Like they had this yeah. I remember you said that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was...
Like it wasn't easy for them to come down here.
And I still, when I go back to that vision I had, it was like the transition from heaven down here was painful. And that was the screams, right? So it's interesting how any other type of, Hollywood version would be like, and then the angel just appeared, right? That's not what I got. I got that shit hurt. Right?
Yeah.
But what were they coming down
like it was
for?
painful.
Like it was painful. Yeah. And I felt like they were jumping through, right? So, and then years late, like, and then the way Soul did it was kind of like the same thing where they jumped into this portal to come to the mommy's womb. You know?
Wow.
All right, let me go back. So the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and hail and fire followed, mingled with blood. And they were thrown to the earth, and 1/3 of the trees burnt up, and all green grass was burnt. The second trumpet the seas struck. The second trumpet angel sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea. And 1/3 of the sea became blood. And 1/3 of living creatures in the sea died, and 1/3 of the ships were destroyed. Now, when I get the sea struck and the mountain was on fire, that could be the most recent volcanoes, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to relate what's in Revelations to what's happening naturally all over the world, right? And there's been some recent volcanoes eruption that has annihilated whole neighborhoods in the middle of the night. Then the 3rd angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven, burning like a torch, and it fell on 1/3 of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is wormwood. 1/3 of the waters became wormwood, and many men died from the water because it was made to make the water bitter. Then the 4th angel sounded, and 1/3 of the sun was struck, 1/3 of the moon, 1/3 of the stars, so that 1/3 of them were darkened. 1/3 of the day did not shine, and likewise the night. And I looked, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because the remaining blasts of the trumpets of the 3 angels who are about to sound." So the first 4 angels was bad enough, but now they're saying the last 3, whoa, is a lot, right? Then the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To this angel was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. If you've ever seen a volcano eruption, there was one in St. Vincent, and it literally can prevent the sky from coming through. It was that bad, the ash, right? Then out of
So it changed the so basically it's like it changed the environment just a matter of seconds, right?
Yes.
That it can just, wow.
Yes, and you would find it a near impossibility to me, being ignorant, how a volcano eruption can do that, right? but it literally can black out the sun. It's the weirdest thing that happens. And coming from California, we've seen it with fires, where a really bad forest fire can block out the sun for miles. It's so uncomfortable
Wow.
to have that experience. Yeah. Oh, child. Hold on a second, Melissa.
Okay.
Then the fourth angel sounded, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the moon, a third of the stars, so that a third of them were darkened, a third of the day did not shine, and likewise the night. And I looked, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe, the inhabitants of earth, the people, because the remaining blast of the trumpet of the three angels who are about to sound." Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a fallen star from heaven. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like a great furnace, so the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Then out of the smoke, locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth had power. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. Now, this brings me back to, remember at one point, they kept saying the locusts are coming in from Africa, and then there was those big, what were they called cicadas or something like that. They look like huge roaches. Do you remember that, Melissa? Remember? And they made it as far as Washington, D.C., because I remember seeing a video where this outside construction worker was covered in them. I forgot the name of the bug.
Wow.
Does anybody remember the name of the bug?
I remember something like that. I don't remember the bugs. I don't remember the bugs neither.
But they were huge, and they only lived for about a week or two, or they stayed underground for like 14 years, but they all came out at once. But this reminds me of like the locusts or these bugs that are coming, right? And where the Bible says that an order was given to the locusts, don't eat anything green. How valuable is God seeing the fact that he will preserve this earth? The earth stays, right?
The earth stays, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The earth, God's not going to let anyone touch this earth. But the peoples, and I think it's interesting when he says, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. Who has the seal? And how do I get this seal? Where can I buy it, Melissa? What is the seal?
It sounds like something that has to do with being conscious.
Say that again. It sounds like?
It sounds like a man has to learn to, like, a man has to, it sounds like he has to be a conscious, conscious and aware.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Like, conscious of being who he is.
Right.
And being the man that God knows he's supposed to be.
Right.
You know what too, this makes me think about those men out there that want to be just like their other friends, but they don't want to be their self, their true self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much trouble does that get in?
I don't know. I'm hearing Spirit say, be the man you was born to be. Yes.
Yeah. And Melissa, that's a really good point, especially when you bring it back to modern day time, right? I like that you brought it back to today's time, because isn't that kind of the problem that we're discovering, that people don't know how to be themselves? They know how to act like the masses. And that means if everyone is fighting on a plane, like, are you going on a plane just to fight? Is that who you are? Or is that the next big craze? And so you're gonna fight on a plane. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But is that you? And if it is you, got it. But does that give you protection? Because when God said, don't touch anyone with the mark on their forehead, right? And where is kindness found? Kindness is found in a thought. You don't find it in your heart, you put it in your heart. It's a thought.
It's a thought, yeah. You know what I'm seeing right now? Spirit keeps showing me that they're just picking up dirt and just, like, you know, having a hold of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it just sounds like that, you know. A man not only has to be grounded. You know?
Yes.
And follow his roots, because, you know, dirt has roots in it.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, remember, Melissa, you told me, which I appreciate to this day, you said, take some dirt from in front of your house when you go back home.
Yeah.
I did that.
Oh,
I did
Oh,
it.
you did it.
Of course I did. Yes, I took dirt, and I was going to separate the dirt, but somehow I wound up mixing the dirt with herbs. And you know how God is. Like, sometimes you do things by accident, and I was like, okay, now I can't even separate it, because I was going to do one separate candle with dirt, one separate candle with herbs, but it all got mixed in somehow. And because I still have herbs left, when I came back, the herbs that I have left from that experience in June, when I took it home, I did magic while I was away, because I was away for like June, July, August. I was away for 2.5 months. I did magic the whole time, but I carried the same dirt back here, and it's that dirt that I'm still using to this day in my candles. I didn't even create new herbs. I just continuously use it was the Blockbuster herbs for Britney Spears. But it was my batch, and I mixed it with dirt from in front of my door. And to this day, it's what I'm using.
Wow. Look how, you know, just look how magical dirt is.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And so when you say dirt has roots,
every single day.
Say that again now.
I said, and we walk on it every single day without realizing it.
Yes. Yes. And when you say dirt has roots, it's like sometimes we take that for granted. Sometimes we forget. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a beautiful thing to like when someone gives you a message, and it's like, oh, okay, right? And I was rushing out. I was trying to pack, you know, but I know when God says to me, I know when God is talking to me through somebody else. And I was like, you better get that dirt, right? And just like, you know, I tell you guys, the birds come in my house. And so the bird came in this morning, and now it's getting more comfortable. It just comes in and it's like, oh, this is my time to come in and search your house. So I did that this morning. But from the first day, there's cats in the back of the complex. And from the first day, sitting outside, there's this cat that walks by, right? Very specific look. I think you might call it a calico type of look. I think I'm not really good at cat markings. But out of all the cats, this is the only one that keeps passing in front of me, right? So it came in yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was like, it's weird that the cat put his paws in my house, right? So I mentioned it in the group, and I was like, oh, now I got a cat coming in, right? And so Joan texts me, and she goes, it's so funny, because spirit is no joke. Joan goes, put salt in front of your door. If the cat comes in anyway, then he's safe, right? What do? I put salt in front of my door, but I work in my bedroom, facing a window.
Yeah.
And didn't that cat look in my window late at night while I was working? I was like, Lord have mercy, you're going to find your way to me regardless, right? Because I was questioning. What? Yeah, the cat came to the back door and stuck its head in. Not in my window, but because I have a screen. No, it's true. And I just looked at the cat and I was like, Lord have mercy. Okay, I'm getting the memo. Because I was questioning whether or not I should feed the cat, right? Because I didn't want to start that shit again, right? Because it's just a nightmare. So I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not feeding the birds. I'm not doing it. But I think I'm going to have a little cat friend. It is what it is, Melissa. So I'm just going to get some cat food. That. You do love it? Thank you. But I just think it's funny that Joan was like, put salt in front of your door and see if he shows up anyway. If he shows up, then yeah, that's something you should communicate with. That cat came through the back window. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Oh, spirit is no joke. All right. But I'm saying all of that to say, I love that you were like, get some dirt. Like, I know when God is speaking to me, when God is in you. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
And thank you.
You're welcome. You know when I heard their door? I don't know if you know anybody that's a Theodore.
Oh my fucking what? What did you
hear? Theodore.
Melissa. What the fuck? What? Melissa, that's my daddy's legal name. Melissa.
What happened? I can't.
Melissa?
Yeah?
Oh my God.
Girl, you're making me chill. I'm like, what?
Melissa.
I did not know that, but they kept saying Theodore to me, and I'm like, oh, well, because you kept talking about the cat innate. And I said, well, let me ask you.
I'm speechless, Melissa. I'm speechless.
Wow.
I am speechless right now.
Did that bring you the cat?
I'm speechless. You can't make up that name. His name is Theodore Brown.
No.
Oh my God. I don't talk about my dad's full name. I don't think I ever have anywhere. And if I did.
No, I never heard you say his name before.
No. And even if I did, I wouldn't use Theodore. No. I would use Ted. Because that's what they called it. Oh my God. You know what? This is so funny. Oh my God. Okay. I need a moment. when I left in June to go wrap up my apartment, the last thing I said was, Dad, stay here. Right? Meaning, watch over this
Right.
place. Right? And I honestly felt that my dad was here watching over the place, right? I felt it in my gut, my groin, my heart, right? It wasn't a question. It was like, Dad, stay here. I go back and I get a couple of readings, right? I get one from Deborah Hookey and I get one from Monica, the tea leaf reader. Both of them said, your dad will be with you in the Caribbean. Both of them. And I took it casually, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I know, I told him to stay. It's like you believe, but you don't believe, but you believe, right? But when you pull Theodore out of the hat, Melissa, girl, that's deep. Thank you.
Wow. You're welcome. I think Spirit, because Spirit was saying it, so because I'm sitting here thinking about the cat in the window. You know, you can't get no better than that. If it's like looking at you in the window, the same cat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is crazy, Melissa. That is so, it gives me reason to feel even more honored that my dad is like now, it's like I believe, it's like, okay, so Dad is here, but now I know Dad is here. Do you understand, Melissa?
I understand.
I gotta
it's like you got validation.
I got validation. Man, I gotta make him some fried chicken. I gotta cook him some fried chicken for showing up. That's nice. That's nice, Melissa. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is. You know what? It's like you just never know. Like you always say all the time. Sometimes you gotta just, when you're silent and you just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get to hear what Spirit wants to tell you. But Spirit talks all day. Sometimes I just be in my own world for a few minutes. But it was just so cool. I'm like, okay. So I get validation too because I'm like, okay, that's why I love when I read people.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm reading and then they get validation, I got validation too because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I made somebody's day, and I'm like, I don't know who did or is, but I was like, it's making me want to tear up.
Well,
I'm like, who is that? I'm like, that is a name I don't say. I'm like, I never said that before, but I'm like, okay, Spirit, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah. No, that is so profound because, like, it all of this must have started not in this moment. All of this must have started yesterday, right? Because at the last minute, I was like, okay, I'm going to do the radio show. At the last minute. I was like, okay, guys, in a group meet, I'm going to do the radio show tomorrow. And then you just came out of the blue, which I thought was different. You're like, hey, do you want company? And I was like, yeah. If you're up at that hour, yeah, let's go for it. So it would have started from yesterday, trying to get us to coordinate.
Wow.
So that the message could come through.
So he can hear it, like he goes boom, like he goes, and what I sent somebody.
Yes. Now you gonna make me feed this cat gonna be fat. He gonna be loved. He still can't come in my house. No. But I definitely will be. I'm not letting no dirty because it's a feral cat, right? So the feral cat, like in my house, a cat needs to be bathed. So let's just start there. Right?
Absolutely.
And it has to get used to bathing because we're not having that, right? But this is this is gonna be Like it's a street cat. So let's be realistic. It's a street cat, which means fleas. I don't know. Do they have fleas out here? I would assume, which means fleas, and I'm not down for that, right? But
yeah, it would need a flea bath.
it would need a flea bath, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, I can honor the presence, right? I can honor the presence and feed the cat. I'll call it Theodore, Melissa.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so cool.
That is so cool.
Oh my God, I would love to call out my dad's name. Oh, Melissa, thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, Theodore. Thank you.
Yes,
For showing
Theodore.
up.
It's so
It was
funny.
funny because I'm sitting here at my altar. You're talking this morning, and I said, okay, I put coffee for honey, and I just went and gave everybody liquor and everything at the altar, like the candle.
Yeah.
And here he's like, all right, since you did all that, I'm going to tell you the name.
Oh my God, I'm in awe of your gift. I'm in awe. I've been watching you for a long time now, right? We have been internet friends for God knows how long, right? I always say to you, Melissa, you go back to my radio days. You and another woman, Carmen and Desi, and then there was this other woman, Lavender. Like y'all are the original four, but the two that lasted has been you and Carmen, right?
Absolutely. Lavender was so funny.
She was hilarious.
When Lavender come on, oh my God.
She was hilarious. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if I stopped the radio show and that's how we lost contact. I don't know, but she was hilarious. You remember Lavender?
Yeah, I remember Lavender.
Yes. And Lavender and Desi came on at the same time. And they were very similar energy. Like they just love themselves some pop culture, right? And
yes.
but I've known
we
you.
cannot forget Melvin. Can't forget Melvin.
Oh, Velvet's not ringing a bell. Who's Melvin? Melvin. And I could never remember Melvin's number or I wouldn't pick it, right? But every week I picked his number because I never remembered it. And every week he had the same story to tell. Same story. And I was like, Melvin, Melvin. What are you talking about?
I love how the Francis had that southern accent.
Yes, he had that deep southern accent. Yes. Aww. I remember. Yeah. But you were one of the originals. And I had no idea that you came with gifts, Melissa. Right?
You know what? I didn't know neither until I went and I took your tarot class.
Ah. Yes.
Because not only did I take your tarot class, but I went and took Tracy's good friend Jason, the wizard. I took his meditation class.
Yes.
And I took Monica's class for Learn Wicca.
Yes.
101.
Yes.
All three at the same time. Would I recommend you do three at the same time? No, because then it's just it's a lot of information.
Yes.
And you're just, I was like that for like a month. You know?
Yes.
Blue.
But I think
I love that I experienced it all because.
No, I was gonna say I think it's interesting that you took classes from 3 different types of people, right? Yeah. Monica was Wiccan, and so she was showing you all the Wiccan tools and all that stuff. And Jason had a really good method of making you dig deeper.
Yeah.
Right? I taught tarot, and who else did you say? Jason, Monica, and who else?
I took Jason. Yeah, I think there's 3.
And did you take?
Now I started.
Did you take Deborah's class?
Yes, I
Right.
forgot about that. Okay,
Right.
I took Deborah's class too.
Yeah.
In Deborah's class, I did the second and the mediumship class too.
Yes, she had
'Cause
2
she does
types of
2.
classes. Yes. Yeah, and I think I didn't recognize, right? Because it's none of my business. So I didn't recognize all your efforts, right? All I could see in group that you kept getting stronger. And I remember when I looked at you one day and I was like, no, Melissa, tarot is not your game. Like, you're better at oracle. Stay with the oracle because you speak to the spirits. If you speak to the spirits, ooh, child,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother gift. Right?
Right.
And so once you recognize the struggle wasn't just in tarot for you, that it's more expansive, then you began to flow, and then you began to trust what you were hearing. And every single time in readings, you just blow it out the park every single time. So I'm so honored that you brought up my dad's name. I can't, I'm in shock. I'm in shock, Melissa. And I think, just so you know, I think I needed to hear that. I think sometimes, not looking for a pity party, but sometimes I do feel alone, right? And
Yeah.
now Omicron is here, and I was kept questioning, I'm questioning God, I'm questioning spirit. And I'm like, I don't want to even visit my friends on Wednesdays right now. Like, I just, which makes me feel more alone. Right?
Right.
So it just gives me comfort that my dad came through. Because, one, maybe I'm making the right decision to just stay out Spirit's way and stay home. Maybe just stay home and make my candles, Melissa. Like, refocus what I think I need. Maybe temporary downtime is healthy.
It's like, even though you're having a solitude moment, you do so much for everybody else, you know?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
And I have to say, everybody better save their money, okay? Because when your candles come out, they are going to be sold out because they are so beautiful.
Oh,
Put a lot of energy in her candles.
They're so
Please
beautiful.
make sure you save your coins. And make sure when she put it out, don't say I'm going to get it next week. When you see it, you buy it immediately, all right?
Oh,
That's all I got to say.
thank you, Melissa.
Because you seen the Britney Spears, the whole Britney Spears with the candles and everything. That energy that you have in that Free Britney kit was amazing. I was like, you know what? I want to order another one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, after this whole thing's done, I need to.
Yeah. No.
And it's about energy.
Yeah, it's about energy. Yeah. I was so proud to have created the herbs and then the blockbuster oil. And then I was more proud when everyone ordered and got on a bandwagon. It was just, and look, like, I'm not taking credit. Please don't, like, it's not about that. It's about the influence of, it's about jumping in the game together, right? It wasn't me, right? Those 2 girls that started the podcast started this, right? I finished it. That's the difference, right?
It was like, it was like collective energy.
Collective energy.
Of doing the right. Mm-hmm.
Right. I just feel like I was the last mixture that needed to come in, the last component. The fight was the fight. But when you put magic and you strike that match with that magic, it's like, now watch it work. But it's collective energy that made all of her free.
Wow, and it was just so, and it smells so good. I'm like, who wouldn't get the kit? Because, you know, now that Brittany is free now, just knowing that you have something that, you know, you have to have healing hands to make those products.
Yeah, Melissa. Yeah, you know, I know I told you guys the story, but the public hasn't heard it. And my original entry into the spiritual world is with healing hands. That's my original entry. And God gave me a vision that I could heal people with my hands. But what I also saw was people lined outside the door. And I said to God, I refuse. I refuse. I will not be a prisoner in my home. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then years later, back in August, I saw a movie about this little girl that had the same gift. And sure enough, that's what she was experiencing. But I'll give you the name of the movie if I can find it. It was on prime time. And so thank God, he didn't get mad at me when I refused, right? He didn't say, you better do it or you can't live, right? He was like, okay, then we'll try something else. My second entry was in Candle Magic, right, Melissa? And here's how I knew I had the gift. Here's how I knew I had the gift. At the time that I entered Candle Magic, my son was auditioning for commercials and movies. But it was mostly commercials in the beginning. And I would make candles to have him get the job. And he always got the job. And it got to the point where other moms would be like happy that, because everybody gets what they call a call time. You be here at 3:30, you be here at 4:30, you be here at 5. And all the moms, everybody, of course, would always get there early because that's part of the game. And we were coming in from Staten Island, so we didn't have the luxury of, getting there too early because I had to bring him out of school if I went too early, right? So I always told his agent, give me the last appointment. But the moms didn't know that. So they would always be there together, talking amongst each other, and they would be happy that Brian didn't show up. I didn't know this, but then one of the moms said to me, we were hoping Brian wouldn't show up. And I'm like, what? And she's like, every time Brian shows up, he gets the job. I'm like, what? Right? But what they didn't know was that I was doing magic to get him to get the job. Right? That wasn't against the other moms and the other kids, right? That was for Brian. And I didn't know I had that gift until the mom mentioned it. And I was like, oh shit, this stuff works. This works. Period.
You know what? I like the fact that you said that, you took the last appointment, meaning that you don't have none of the mom or their children's energy looking at your child.
That's a good point.
It's kind of like you going in without no evil eye on you.
Melissa, some things were done by accident, but that's an excellent thing. In hindsight, that, if I did it by accident, but you're right. It was very, very smart. And then from Candle Magic, I went on to tarot. And let me tell you something, Melissa. Tarot was not my gift. at all. It took me forever to learn the cards. It just wasn't my gift. I struggled and struggled and struggled, and I mean for years. And one day I just had a conversation with God, and I said, I know what you want me to be. I can't. Let me learn the tarot. And then it opened up, and then all the information about tarot got in, right? Because I was thinking in hindsight, not at the time, because I don't understand anything that I'm going through. I'm just going through the motions, right? You guys see me at this place, but you didn't see me struggling, right? And I just said to Spirit, I don't know what you want from me. I need to learn tarot. So please give me that gift. And then boom. When I tell you the world opened up, the information, and then I went from there to asking God if I can trust spirits more, right? And that's when spirits started to come through. And I would hear things, and then I would say it to the client, much like you did today with the name Theodore, right? And then I realized, oh God, I'm opening up to, this is real. I'm opening up to spirit. Okay, breathe. Because the clients will tell you, like you said, Melissa, the clients will be like, oh yeah, that resonates, right? And then I said to God, I said, recently, I said, oh no, and then I went and I learned a modality like Reiki. I never wanted to learn Reiki. I can't remember the modality, but I'll try to remember, but it's hands-on, and you could read the person's body by touching them. And so I learned this modality. I can't remember it, so I apologize, everyone. And it reminded me and brought me back to my healing, right? And I remember touching a woman, and there's a way that you have to, certain pivotal points that you touch people. And I remember touching a woman at her kidneys. And the other thing, Melissa, no one knows this, I'm only admitting it now. If I touch you, you're sleeping, you're out, you're gone. I'm telling you, like, my hands are ridiculously healing, right? You will fall asleep, and that's a period, on a dime. Because I've been doing this modality, I just can't remember the name of it, but I remember the name of it, I'll tell you guys. And I went to touch this woman's kidneys, which is one of the points you have to touch. And when she woke up, it's my job to read her. And so I looked at her and I said, your kidneys are off. And she stayed quiet. And I said, you gotta take care of that. Your kidneys are off, right? And she was Spanish, so I had an interpreter. And she told the interpreter she drinks too much.
Wow.
And her kidneys were beginning to get compromised. You know? And my prayer was, I don't remember what I said to her after that. I just remember that little moment in time. And then my prayer was, the other thing I do remember is that she said, she only slept for like 10 minutes, and she goes, she never slept so good. She was only down for 10 minutes. She's like, I never slept so good. I was like, oh my God. So I'm translating everything about healing, because I remember I told God, I can't do it that way. I can't do it your way, God. Meaning, I'm not against you, God. I'm against the people's. And the greed that comes with the gift, right? So the gift and the healing hands is going into the candles, right? And
that's right.
And that's the bottom line, that I'm just going to take the healing hands and pour them into the wax. And before this, Melissa, remember I made the bracelets, the breakaway bracelets, and I used to sell them in a Green Man store.
You know what? If you ever make those again, please let me know.
Everybody says that. I gotta do better. Everybody says that. Melissa, I could not keep those bracelets in the store. Like, people brought them constantly, the breakaways. And remember, and the same thing is gonna go with the candles. You're allotted 3 wishes with the candles. So you're gonna see that the same method I use with the bracelet, I'm just transferring over to the candles now.
Absolutely. You know what, Tracy? So as you were talking, I seen like a golden circle in my room. But it just passed by quick when you talked about it, and I'm like, okay, that's just confirmation of just like the power in the candle.
Thank you, Melissa. Aww.
You know?
Oh, ciao. Thank you. All right. Melissa, we have 19 minutes left, or we could just stop here. I think the minute you brought up Theodore, I got overwhelmed, Melissa.
That is so cool. I'm like, it's just so cool because I was just have my eyes closed, and I keep imaging of the cat. I'm like, what color is this cat? I mean,
yeah.
Because I had cats growing up. I had, so it's like, So that's really cool. I mean, it's just beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I just want to thank you because when you're in a new place.
You're welcome.
Yeah, when you're in a new place, you're like, I'm literally alone, and so it just gives me so much comfort to know that my dad came through. Like I really needed this, Melissa. Thank you.
That's a blessing. You're welcome. I'm so glad I got to help. You know what? As you saw, I just feel cold wind around me. So to me, that's like the angels coming around telling me, like, okay, like they're giving me my props a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, Melissa, take your props.
They like to show off.
Yes, Melissa, you're so gifted, and you're really standing in your power now, and it's so beautiful to be, right? I was with a reading with someone yesterday, and he comes from a very religious family, and he's gay, and you know how religion and gay don't go together, right? But he's gifted. Mm-hmm. He has the gift. And I kept telling him, he's like, Tracy, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you're going to open up your phone and you're going to give a prophecy. And he's like, it can't be that easy. And I said, it really is. And I said, no one's going to like you when you do it. Do it anyways. So, and I said to him, one day, it's just going to be you. You're not going to second guess yourself. It's just going to be you. But you can't find that person until you get uncomfortable and step in. Put your toe in the water. And there's nothing better, Melissa, when you could just stand like yourself, right, today, and say, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I'm capable of. And I am co-creator with God. And that's you today. And I've watched you develop into that person today.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
Yeah.
I love that word, co-creator.
Right?
I heard that the other day. I just didn't know what it was.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that. Got a little foundation myself.
That's right. That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and end here because I got my day shift to do in a minute. And I just want to say thank you, Melissa. And
Thank you, and thank you for letting me come on your show.
Yes, I'm going to take about 15 minutes just to, you know, allow myself to breathe and take in, you know, how you call out Theodore's name. That is so beautiful. Thank you. All right, sweetie, you're welcome to come back on next week. Right?
Well, thank you.
We will stay more focused on Revelation, but you know what? It's God's will. Whatever comes out, comes out. It is what it is. That's what I've decided. So you're more than welcome to come back and join me next week. But in the meantime, for everyone that's listening, Melissa is going to do her show. When's it scheduled for, Melissa?
I'm going to be doing it at 12:30 Eastern time today.
Okay. 12:30 Eastern time is Melissa's show where she talks about her crystals and she does free readings. And join her today. All right? On Blog Talk Radio, the Melissa Burton Show on Blog Talk Radio. If you want to get a question asked, press 1 when you dial the number to talk. And the number to talk for anybody that's listening right now with Melissa is 914-205-5699. 914-205-5699. All right? And press 1 so that you could get in the queue and Melissa can actually see you. Because if you don't press 1, then you're listening to the show. All right? All right, Melissa.
Thank you again, Tracy.
Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for co-creating with God. Thank you, Melissa, for showing up, right? Thank you for your agreement with God. Yeah. And you showed up with your agreement with God. Like, right? What we do is what a pianist does, an opera singer, right? You show up with your agreement with God. It's easier to find those gifts, but for us, it's like, when you just stand in that, yeah, that's you and God together. All right, Miss Lady, get going. Thank you, Melissa.
All right, everybody. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.